What is up?
What's up? What's up?
You are in a different location this week. You don't have the
I
sheet behind you.
no. I mean, I have a sheet, but not the sheet.
right. Not the famous black sheet.
Yeah.
You are traveling and on the road tonight. So please, everybody, please thank our director for still making it, even though he's not here. He's here, but he's not here. He's here, he's not here. He's like, what are those neutrons and stuff? They can be at two places at one time.
Yeah.
So what is new this week? What do we got going on? We are getting closer and closer to the 8th. I'm very excited about this big announcement I want to make for everybody.
I know. I'm nervous, but excited for it too.
So next, Kyber Cave After Dark, we'll be able to announce, hopefully.
Yeah, we can announce it, but it will also be live this Tuesday.
Yes, this Tuesday, February 8th is what we are shooting for. And I might even come up and do a special little announcement on the Kyber Cave page or Facebook page or Kyber Cave production page just to let everybody know what the new exciting thing is. Because as soon as the 8th hits, I don't want to wait till Friday. I don't want to wait till Friday for people to know about the excitement.
Right.
On top of that, we've got all kinds of cons going on right now. In fact, we're not going to have a California convention with California Adventures with Kevin.
No.
California Comic-Con Adventures with Kevin. Yay!
Only took you 6 times.
I know. So unfortunately, we're not going to have one tonight because Kevin is down in. I think he's at the Blender in Southern California this weekend.
Is he? I remember he was saying something about that.
I've been seeing a lot of pictures coming in from that event, so I know he is hard at work down there. And so hopefully next week we'll have a really cool video to show you. But we've got a ton of cons coming up. We got Capitola Con March 3rd. They're going to have the 5 Boba Fett's there. They're going to have like 2 or 3 people from Sons of Anarchy. They're going to have Boo from Monsters, Inc. is going to be there.
Of course, she's going to be an adult, not the 2-year-old child.
Right. It has been a few years since Monsters, Inc. And Kyber Cave will be in the house. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I know we're going to have a booth. I know we got that, but I don't know. We're supposed to do something else. And I don't know what that something else is. So we may be doing some kind of a demonstration. We may be filming for our Saber Rattle later on that night or that weekend. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do. But more than likely, we're not going to have a build show that weekend.
Probably not.
Yeah, and if it's possible we can do Kyber Cave After Dark. We'll just bring our laptops from the hotel room.
We can definitely do Saber Rattle in the hotel room. We just have to, talk a little bit quieter so you don't. It'll be an ASMR episode.
Oh wow, that's just freaky. Yeah. Well, hopefully Sunday night we'll be on our way home because it's about a 3-hour drive to get down to that con. So hopefully we will be on our way home Sunday night. We'll have to see what time the con ends and what time we finish up and see how that goes. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to replay a previous episode or something like that. I don't know. It's just gonna be weird. As we get closer, as we get closer, we'll know what we're gonna do for that show.
Ooh, I had an idea, but I don't think you would like it.
Uh-oh.
We could replay our first 2 episodes.
The first 2, like when Chris and I were on?
Mm-hmm. When Gary was our first guest and everything.
Wow, that would be a blast from the past, huh?
It really would be.
I don't know if that would be a good blast from the past or a scary blast from the past.
Both?
Yeah, it might be. Hello, Say Wong. Thank you for coming in, my friend. It is so good to see you. We just saw Say Wong last night. He was doing weathering on his blasters.
Ooh.
And he let us know about, if you did not get a chance to watch the build show last night, his blasters that he has, if you've ever seen Say Wong stuff, he doesn't go for the fake plastic toy stuff, dude. He's got the nice, authentic metal, as
It's
accurate as you can get.
yeah, it's really nice. I've had the pleasure of trying to work on that thing, and it is amazing.
His
Like it
hand,
even
the hand solo blaster that he has, like, I mean, it's so authentic, like it's so heavy. I was like, man, like if you actually had to shoot this thing,
it even if you pull the trigger, the hammer goes back and clicks.
right.
Like it is like if you were to put a I'm gonna say a dart so we don't get canceled on YouTube. If you were
Right.
to put a dart in there, it would fire.
Yeah, and they are really amazing. And he was letting us know. Of course, I have a terrible memory. He was letting us know where he got them from. So if you're looking for authentic props, talk to Say Wong. He knows where you can get
Did you
all
get
that
them
good
from
stuff.
Solo's Hold?
No, they're not Solos Hold. It was like Blaster. It was Blaster Maker or something like that. It was a very simple name. Um, and again, Say Wong can let us know. But yeah, I was looking at their selection. It's really, really cool. Plus, he has videos. So I guess when you get these, they're all machined, but you have to actually put it together yourself.
Oh,
Yeah. So if you want any painting or anything like that, you got to do that. Take care of all of that.
Blaster Factory.
Blaster Factory. Yes. So yeah, if you're looking for authentic stuff, check out Blaster Factory. He was working on his Dinjarin gun last night. Oh, so cool.
Oh, I can't wait till I get my Mandalorian up and going, man.
Yeah. Is that
Yeah.
what are you working on right now? Do you have anything like that you can say that you were like, this is what I'm gonna have done next? What is gonna be your
My project coming up is a helmet.
Mhm,
I'm getting one from Darkside Sabers.
mhm.
So, um,
Mando helmet?
yeah, Mando helmet.
Nice.
I'm getting it's a Din Djarin helmet, but
Mhm.
if I for the viewers who don't know, I know you know. Um, you can if you ever have seen Don's helmet on the kit build show, you'll notice it has like a little arrow like right here or
Yeah.
like up here. That started off as a Din Djarin. He also
Right.
made what was it? No, not Boba.
He did the Django Fett.
Jango Fett. He did another helmet. I don't remember the name of the person he made, but he took the bridge off here, added the little arrows right here, and boom, you had Jango Fett. He
Right.
didn't add the visor, not the
Right.
visor, the
The
scanner
ear
thingy.
thing. Yeah.
He didn't add that, but he you can make these helmets into anything, and that's what I'm probably gonna do. I'm gonna make my own design on it.
So
Get
you're gonna make an original character?
Yeah, probably make my own OC.
That'll be dope, dude. I have I also have one of those helmets for people that don't know. Mine is I'm doing a crossover Marvin the Martian mixed with the Mandalorian. So I have the
Yes,
eyepiece completely cut out. The inside is so velvety comfortable, dude. I mean, it's so nice because and you can watch some of our past build shows to see how he does the interior lining of the helmet, but it's snug without being tight. Do you know what I'm saying? So like,
right.
like sometimes you put on a helmet, you go like this, and the helmet just like is staying in one place, but your head is moving inside the helmet. This you can move side to side and
And it
up and down,
stays
and
right
it
here.
stays, but it's not like because you know me, dude, I'm claustrophobic. It's not like too like tight or
Tight on your
confining.
face. Right.
Right.
I've tried on your helmet. I don't know if you know that.
I did
it
not know that.
it feels nice. Like it's not, as you said, claustrophobic.
Right.
It just feels like a motorcycle helmet.
Right.
You whenever you have those the one that you lift up and down those helmets, it feels like you're wearing one of those.
Right. It
Like
is snug but not tight. So
exactly.
I absolutely love it. So yeah, so I found at the dollar store a piece for the brush top. So we're gonna heat that up and paint it, and then I get that connected to my helmet. And then the last thing I need to do for my helmet is the red visor part that goes across here. What is going
Hello,
on,
hello.
Phoenix? So good to see you, my friend. Phoenix, of course, of Distance Nerding. Boom, boom. Distance Nerding in the house. They also are going to be at Capitola Con as well. So make sure to check them out there. And if you're not listening to Distance Nerding podcast, there's
What are you
something wrong
doing?
with
Go
you.
listen to it.
What are you doing with your life?
Really
so,
quick,
my friend, huh?
everyone should go click that link right there. Also, it'll be in the description of the video everywhere except for Twitch, because Twitch is weird and doesn't do descriptions. There's a link to our website. Go get your own Kyber Cave merch. You can get you can get t-shirts, keychains. We're getting some new merch in. So keep an eye out for that.
Chopsticks,
Chopsticks.
knives,
we have
pocket
a
knife.
Swiss Army knife. We have, what else do we got on there? Sabers.
Say we have a couple of sabers, but well, like I said, yeah. By on Tuesday night, make sure to check out our website to see the big changes that will be happening, that we will be announcing next week. And the only reason we can't announce it right now is because there's some behind the scenes stuff that's still going on that I got to work out. But the 8th is when the new announcement drops. So, hey, my friend, I'm excited about our flow from the show tonight because I heard from a little birdie on the vine that our flow is from the Bay Area.
It is. It is.
This is a local person and we don't know them. How is that even possible?
That's kind of weird. How do we not know them? So our flow for tonight is the wonderful Thunder Tijo. Tijo. I don't know how to say his.
I wonder if it's like Tijo, like uncle, like, you know what I mean, like Spanish uncle Tijo.
Thunder uncle.
Thunder uncle. Sorry, wrong.
Why did I think of Captain Underpants when you did that?
Wow, that was a South Park reference, but probably not an appropriate one.
I honestly, I'd never really watched South Park.
Yeah,
I didn't get into it. I've wanted to watch it, I just haven't, gone off and done it.
Right. As always, our flow for the show is brought to you by our wonderful producer. Who's that?
James Kaiser, aka
Darcephalus.
That way.
He is our OG flow producer, and every week either it is him or he brings us some fantastic artists from across the globe. And when I say across the globe, I do mean across the globe.
We've had people in Sweden, Australia,
London.
Did we have one in Germany? I think we had one in Germany.
I'm not sure for flow art. Amsterdam. I know we've had Amsterdam.
Yeah, we've had Amsterdam. We've had a lot of different flow artists from all over the world.
Right.
If you want to be a next flow artist, go over to Darcephalus on Facebook and make your submission.
And I want to say, is this the last week for Spin Wars voting, or is that done? I thought this was the last week.
I think this might either be the last week or it's done. I'm not entirely sure.
You can check that out. You can Google Spin Wars and check that out. You can check out the competitors, and if it's still open, you can vote for them and help make part of that decision on who wins the prize.
Woo!
Woohoo! But for now, let's see. Is it Thunder Tijo?
Good.
Just in case you thought every flow artist was perfect on every move.
Okay, I didn't watch this entirely through when I was putting it on. I didn't know about that.
You didn't see the ending?
No, I just saw the YouTube and the Instagram thing, and I was just like, okay, that's it. So I clicked off just to go
Right.
download it, and then I was like, the that ending was fantastic. Thank you, sir, for the good laugh.
I think every Florida should end with a blooper reel.
Yes, James. Next one you bring us, if it's you, I want a blooper reel.
Oh yeah, flow artist blooper reel. That would be fantastic.
That would be amazing. Oh, that would be an amazing segment for KCAD.
A blooper reel?
A blooper reel for anything like flow artists, movies, whatever.
Right.
That would be hilarious.
We're requesting it, James. Blooper reels, flow artist blooper reels. We want to see it. So make sure to check out James Kaiser, aka Dark Cephalus. Thank you once again for bringing us Thunder Tijo, and check out what did he had an Instagram and a Facebook, right?
Yes, I believe it was on there. You can, whenever this is done being live. Actually, it might be on YouTube. You can scroll it back a little bit just to see it, and then you can go back to being live.
All right.
So,
and on that note, if you have not subscribed to us on YouTube, if you have not gone into your mama's account and subscribed her to our,
if your aunt, uncle, dad, your brother, your sister, yourself aren't subscribed to the Kyber Cave YouTube page, you're doing it wrong.
That's right. And we're definitely going to be making it worth your while here very soon. Again, more exciting announcements next week. Woohoo! But did you have something to say?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to just segue into our next segment. Speaking of excitement, we have Mr. Excitement on the show tonight. I'm excited about our guest as usual. Again, this guest used to be a part of this show. He used to be a regular interviewer on this show. He is well known, well respected within the Saber community. Everybody knows Ripper Blade. If you go to a con and you see one of this gentleman's products on a Saber, you automatically know who it is right off the bat. It's Ripper Blades. Everybody knows Ripper Blades. So with no further ado, please give it up for Mr. Gary Ripper. Whoa!
I was watching the video.
I stepped out to the side, but what was that one that we were just looking at? What blade was that
friend,
called?
That was a Nebula blade, my friend.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
That was a Dark Saber Nebula blade, my friend.
I'm sure your life has been nothing but Dark Saber for the last couple of years, huh?
Yes. It's been nothing but Dark Sabers daily. Day in and day out, Dark Sabers everywhere.
Dark Sabers for everyone. Well, it's kind of interesting. I feel like, with the Mandalorian and with the Book of Fett and everything going on, you kind of come full circle, because weren't you originally one of the first people to put out a Dark Saber blade, like long before Mandalorian and Book of Fett were even...
Well, actually, my friend, I was the very first person to do a flat Dark Saber blade. Ooh. That's what got me started in the first place, was trying to make that blade in the first place. So, because I've been doing it so long, I went through all kind of ways of doing it, and sometimes the way they do it changes the way I do things. And to be honest with you, I think sometimes the way I do it has inspired them, because we know they watch us. You know what I mean? We know they watch us.
Right.
And so, I think that every time I look at it, I can find something new I want to add to it. I just watched the last one, and I saw some little changes I wanted to do to what I do now. Just little small things. Right. Just because you see things, and where they want to change it, they change little things. I mean, this Dark Saber is the only saber I've ever seen that's changed every time it's gotten in hands and from a producer, I mean, from the way it looks in Clone Wars to the way it looks now on Mandalorian is two completely different sabers. I mean, totally different. And on Rebels, the blade was different. It had like a cracked glass kind of like effect on the white areas, you know. So everything changes up and everything. And it just so happened that on the Mandalorian, the way they design it is like exactly the way I've been doing it for years. It's just that I changed my lightning a little bit to look more like their lightning, which is CGI, you know. So I try to do a little CGI style.
Now, does that make it easier for you or harder for you? Like, okay, so because you've got these different variations of the same exact thing, do some people come to you and say, I want the Rebels version of the Darksaber blade, or I want the Disney, you know, the Book of Fett version? Are people specific?
I think people are mostly into what's going on now. Like when he was really hot with Pre Vizsla back in the day when it first came out, and I was doing them all. I did almost all of them were clear. I had a few black ones I made as custom for people, but they were all pretty much trying to look like Pre Vizsla for the most part. And then I started putting kind of like how I do the Nebula blades now. I had black inside the blades only. I did that for a little while, but that wasn't getting the effect I wanted. And that's the only time I kind of changed it and kind of stayed with the same theme, like Clone Wars, because that was the most popular thing. Rebels came out, and then it kind of revamped people's popularity for it. And that blade, I mostly did a lot of just all black blades, and I did some lightning on some of them, but like, no, lightning changed a lot during that period because the lightning changed a lot in the media. You know, there was no real. I mean, some people had that old classic ghost look into it, like it had when it first came out, and then some had that sort of like white fire along the edges, like when it was shown with Pre Vizsla. And then some had some of that electronic look. I adopted from that close up they had with Darth Maul. That's why I adopted my first look from it. So that's where I kind of think that's where they get a Disney one currently is doing theirs, kind of off that same close up image that the Darth Maul did. So I think when the show changed, people's view of it changed, and so they want that version. Like
the most
right now,
one.
Everybody wants their cosplay to be Ken and Jared with the Darksaber. You know what I mean? Before it was always Pre Vizsla. They needed it for Pre Vizsla, and when I got my first thought about what I did for it was because I heard that the Mandalorian mercs had certain guidelines for getting a Ripper blade. You know, like if you got a Ripper blade, it's got to be for a Pre Vizsla. It's not gonna really just be for any random person.
So it had to be specific to a character.
Yeah, so that's when I realized that, you know, I gotta like amp my blade up to make it look good for the character that these people are cosplaying. So that's what another thing that kind of made me want to do it better and better and better. I've been doing it for a while, since 2012 or 2011 or something like that.
Right. Well, I can say I remember specifically. Now, this was 3 years ago. You came out to California when we had our grand opening at the mall. And one of the blades that we gave away that weekend was, at the time, your version of the Darksaber blade. But that one, I want to say it was more of it wasn't black. It was more of a dark gray or smoky kind of a color. Has it been hard to look at the same thing and think of ways to improve it? Or, I mean, because I know, like, I mean, this blade has been evolving for more than, you know, what, 10 years now, right?
Yeah, I think what happens is that just because I do it all the time, and then sometimes some people might say, hey, just from the very beginning, like when I first made my very first blade, I called it the black blade. Mm-hmm. And they corrected the hell out of me on the forums back in the day. It was like, oh no, it's not the black blade, it's called the Darksaber, and this and that. You know, the black blade is a different lightsaber from the games and etc. You know, so I learned a lot. So I would change it, and I had my first picture. I used as a reference was the picture that Darth Maul had, and it looked more like a machete. So I was corrected on the shape on it too. They're like, look at this for the shape, look at that. So when people tell me what is wrong with my blade, it makes me improve my blade. You know what I mean? Or something they may see in the blade that hey, you know, I noticed that the tips are sharper, or I noticed the tips are not as sharp. You know, I go, oh, okay,
Right.
let me take a look, and I go back and look, and so I get a lot of help from people. I get a lot of help from customers when they want their own blade, how they might want it. They say, hey, you know what? I love the blade, the way you make the blade, but is it possible if you can do it this way? And I'm like, oh, you know
Right.
what? That's a good idea. I think I'll start doing it that way. I like things, and so I might change it that way. So there's a lot of inspiration that makes it change,
Right.
and it keeps growing. Like this recently, like I said, I watched Mandalorian, and like I do everything the same, but now I've decided to do, you know, tinier lightning bolts on certain areas now, just because I wanted to look a certain way, and bigger lightning bolts in certain areas, because I noticed that if you make them too small, you know, when people have them far away, when they have them in photos, you can't see the lightning bolts anymore. You know, you got to make them a certain size so that when people take photos, they look the way it's supposed to look for the photos. And
Right.
sometimes you make stuff artistically. It's kind of like when you do a logo. You don't want to do too much art on the logo, because when they do letterhead or whatever, there's too much detail.
Right.
So you lose the logo. You know, if you have a lot of stuff, it might just be a black blotch.
Right.
So you gotta find that medium. So when people want to take photos, the artwork that you've put on there looks good, and when they have it close up, it doesn't look like you're looking at large print. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And
that's what I think about when I make that shit stuff.
even with you with that, it's all good.
Things.
Even with that, I, you know, in the last few years, when I first got into Saber business three and a half years ago, Neopixel was the new hot thing, right? So like not everybody had it now, but now 3.5 years later, Neopixel, everybody wants that Neopixel. So you've had to evolve your even your Dark Saber for the Neopixel as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I seen that first Neopixel, I seen Neopixel like a long time ago, and first time I saw it was, I think, at TSL 2, I think what it was, and it was like fantastic. And then I remember Veronica looked right at me and she says, you know, uh, that's going to be a blade that we're going to have to make. And I was like,
Right.
I'm like, well, you know, just these guys are making it. It's not really, you know, it's not really a popular thing right now, you know. And now
Right.
it's basically a standard, especially for people that's new. So a lot of people who are new to the game, when I say new, I mean at least maybe a year, 2 years nowadays. They're more attracted to Neopixel. They don't really see the beauty of an in-hilt LED,
Right.
but they do have the fighting groups coming out more and more, which would, I think, would prompt more people to use the in-hilt more often, because although you can use a Neopixel in battle, the repair is a bit more expensive. Not as expensive as it used to be.
Right.
But it's still a hassle more than just reaching into your bag and then grabbing another blade and continuing your meat.
And I was going to ask you that over the course of the years, as Neopixel in general has become more popular, has your business changed? Like, are you still making just as many just regular LED blades? Or would you say, you know, it's 50-50, or people aren't buying the LEDs anymore? They only want the Neopixel. How has it changed Ripper blades?
I say it's still 50-50, because a lot of people still have a lot of in-hilts, and I think a lot of return customers want stuff, because more new stuff I make, they want it for their hilts. They have a lot of the old school guys don't have a lot of Neopixels, and they have like $1,000 hilts. You know what I mean? With RGBs inside them.
Right.
Neopixel is a Saber community thing.
Yeah, I mean, Neopixels is mostly in the Saber community for a lot, for the most part. But it's getting out there, though. I mean, like, it's a lot more affordable than it used to be. But the in-hilts, I think, are, most people, I think, like in-hilts for Ripper blades, I think, too. I think some people get their in-hilts and they plan a Ripper blade for that hilt.
Right.
I like to think they do. But that's not to say that I'm not experimenting with Neopixel to do things that'll be just as nice, and if not better than my flat blades have been for the clear blades for the in-hilt.
Right.
My goal is not only to stay relevant, but to stay relevant and still have that sought after artwork that you're looking for. The Neopixel gives me a chance to do things I couldn't do with certain things as far as like color and whatnot. I haven't been able to crack the code of getting the color and hiding the popcorn at the same time yet. But that's coming along. I mean, like I got to do a lot of things at once. I got to keep my artwork savvy. Like I still got to keep drawing and doing artwork and stuff so I can stay relevant to my craft. And then I got to do my 3D stuff when it comes to making ripper blades and stuff. You know.
Right.
And then there's my daily work that I like to do. So I'm blessed to do everything I do, and I just I'm grateful that that the media out there is helping me stay relevant, and people still appreciate the work that I do.
Right.
I mean,
Now, the last time we talked to you, and I can't remember if I interviewed you or if it was an interview with V, but I want to say it was roughly, I don't know, 8 months ago, maybe close to a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I remember V saying or you saying was that you were wanting to get in Ripper Blades more to a point where you were able to use your creativity as opposed to just kind of production line work. You wanted to kind of get more back to your artwork and do more different things on your blades. Are you getting to that point yet, or is it still just trying to get the production saber or blades that people want?
Well, that's 50-50. Like what we're trying to do right now is we are trying to get in more production. We actually are doing that. We're trying to make it so that the standard blade, we're trying to make it sort of standard ripper blade, kind of, in some sense, is what is called the clone now, in some sense.
Right.
That way that people can get a blade in their hand, they can get what they want. The most popular blades that I make right now are usually the katana, you know what I mean? So a ripper blade katana, a true ripper blade katana, since it's been so many years I've been doing this, the time I spent back then is a lot more valuable now. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
I bevel them a lot tighter. I put hormones on them. I do 10 times more than I used to do on them.
Right.
And so and then the price of acrylic almost has doubled since COVID, actually.
Oof.
And so we haven't really reflected any of that either. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it so that ripper blades can not get expensive. Everybody can get a blade into their hand. And so the production stuff is going to be done that way. And what is traditionally known as ripper blade is going to be kind of a custom.
Mm.
So if you want a ripper blade katana that's done where I really do them, it's going to take longer. It's going to be a more wait time.
Right.
And it's going to be considered to be a custom in some sense, which also leaves that one in particular blade leaves it up to me to actually, because I will view it more as a custom and not so much as a production blade, that it will have a deeper bevel. It will have a sharper hamon. It will have the more intense real sword beauty that I saw after when I make these blades. And then I also can make them more personable. You mean those blades? You know what I mean? And so when you see that blade, you'll say, "Oh wow, that's a different ripper blade. That's not like mine." You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, not to put my own stuff down, but you know what I mean. I wanted to make there be a difference between something that someone spent a few $100s on, you know.
Right.
It looked like they spent a few $100s on. Although people tell me I already underdo it, in my mind, I always try to get better with what I'm currently doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's going to happen. And so the Neopixels are just going to reflect that on the other end. But right now, that's going to start off with just being like the clones. I'm going to do a lot of straight blades. I'm going to do the warrior, dark sabers. Right now, they're all going to be black. They're going to be my black onyx line that's pretty popular, even outside of the dark saber. You know.
Can you show that spearhead saber that you had there?
No.
Oh. You had a saber right there.
Yeah. I'm not going to show it to you.
Oh.
That was fun. You don't know what I just did just now? so fun. You have no idea. Okay, so yeah, this is a Nebula blade right here, like what you showed on the opening picture. This is the in-hilt. So with an in-hilt, you get the Nebula blades that's something that you can't get with the Neopixel.
Right.
So,
and you can see just because it's not a Neopixel doesn't mean that it's any less. Those are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it was because it's not Neopixel, you can get this effect inside the blade. It's kind of close. There you go. You can see a little bit.
Right.
But the colors really don't stay the same no matter what you do with them for the most part. Like, I can't even tell you how many colors that change with each color you have on here, except for red. Red, it becomes red and black for the most part. Green, you get a few different hues of green, but every other color, man, like when you go yellow, it has yellow, red, blue, green, and then same thing with all the other colors. It just
this is called the Nebula. This is just one design that your black onyx would be an all completely black saber. How many different, I mean, I'm not shapes, but how many different I guess filaments do you guys have? You can have an all black one, you can have the Nebula, you can have a clear. How many different, is my question making sense?
Well, yes. I do believe you want to know what type of mediums are, different types of.
There we go.
I have a mirror. We have the mirror.
The mirror? Oh, yeah. Oh, the mirrors are gorgeous.
Black onyx, which is the black plastic. We have the Nebula.
Stop it.
That's my dog. You hear my dog? Yeah, they're protecting me. And I have the Nebula style blades. We have the clear. What else is there? There's black onyx, Nebula, clear. What else? There's a pearl that's not too popular. We have a
that
pearl.
One's gorgeous.
Like a pearl essence on the outside. There's a photon. What else is there?
And the regular stock.
Yeah, the regular stock clear. Yeah. I think that's something comes to the top of my head.
Right.
But those are the ones I do regular etching on and all that kind of stuff, and regular stuff, just everyday work.
Out of your stuff, when you and V are going to cons and conventions and you're walking around with the Ripper blade, what does Gary Ripper walk around with? What's your favorite of your own products?
I have a personal blade I take with me to each con. I actually don't have them with me. Actually, I have them with me, but it's a blade that I usually have. It's kind of like I have a tube one for my Neopixel, and I have a flat blade for my in-hilt. And they both kind of do the same thing. The bottom of them are kind of like a cracked inferno. They bleed into like a painted blade that has lightning on it, and then I had to do like a reverse lightning, which is usually only on mine. I have like a reverse lightning where the lightning is red on my tube one and my lightning is black on my flat blade one. And my flat blade is blue and my Neopixel is red. So basically it's like a combination of different stuff that I do all on one blade. Right. Crack the front on the bottom, like a what do you call those? Unstable in the middle, and then like a custom at the tip, So it just goes all over the place. So it's kind of like a resume, this is
got a little bit of all the stuff that you do on there.
Yeah, it's like this is a Ripper blade, flat blade, and this is kind of like this. I kind of explained to you just now, but it's all on the blade,
Right.
One of them was a blade. Both of them are blades that I salvaged, really. They're not blades I made specifically for me. They're like blades that either something had happened to them, either by a customer or I messed up on the blade, so I salvaged it, and I made it into something else that I fell in love with, and I kept it and made it my blade. And I usually stay with it. Both of those blades I've had for maybe about 2 or 3 years each.
Oh wow. Hey, really quickly, I want to say hello to Kevin Cutler. He is actually a fantastic puppet maker we had on the show. Yeah, Kevin, that man is an amazing puppet maker. He makes accessories for furries and stuff too. So,
I gotta see that because I've been wanting a puppet of me, so like when I don't feel like going live, I can have V go live with the puppet.
Hey, I'm telling you, this is the man to talk to.
So get me in touch with my man.
I'll get you hooked up.
Then we can do something, because like I would love to have a puppy I can just sit here and then the puppy do all the talking. I can just stop and just let the puppy do his
We'll
thing.
get you a little Gary puppet, dude. He makes like Sesame Street quality puppets, dude. Like,
That's
his
what I'm
puppets
talking
are fantastic.
I can be furry. It's okay. I don't mind looking like Oscar or like Snuffleupagus. Snuffleupagus used to be my hero growing up because he was like a ninja. He was really big, but he can like be gone when he needed to. My generation, Snuffleupagus is different than most. My Snuffleupagus was a secret amongst Sesame Street people.
Right. Nobody knew who Snuffy was. Only Big Bird knew who Snuffy was.
Yep.
Speaking of heroes, I wanted to ask you. I know when I was you guys did the Silicon event in San Jose this last summer, and you got a chance to meet Adam Savage.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah. He got the chance to meet me.
Oh, and I was gonna say, in this last year, you've gotten to meet what is I forgive me if I get the name wrong, Giancarlo Esposito, correct? From the Mandalorian.
Yeah, we did a con, we did a show, and it was in LA. I think is that LA? We met Esposito. We got to meet.
Yep.
Yeah, because what was nice about that is that my daughter lives in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Area, and she got to come out to help us do a show, and because she was there, we were able to do a show. And my other son was there, and Veronica's son was there, and so we had
it was like a whole family reunion.
It was awesome because they got to meet they're both our firstborns, and so they were able to help us out a lot. And so excuse me, and so I was able to get in line for the end of the night for Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito, right?
Well, I know him as Big Brother Almighty. So I did greet him with that, and he kind of giggled. I said, "Big Brother Almighty." If y'all don't know, look that up. Big Brother Almighty. You gotta put that on it so it'll be right. But he was a very nice man, and when I got to meet Adam Savage, I kind of like bogarted a little bit. And here's something that's funny about when I met Adam Savage. I gave him his saber, and it was lit and everything, and I was so excited, and he was not available. He was not going to be available. So I kind of bogarted another event where he was judging these masks. And when he was done on the side, he was speaking to someone. I kind of just squeezed through the crowd obnoxiously. Right. And I said, "Mr. Savage, I made this blade for you." And he was like, "Oh, thank you." Oh, I was like, "Oh, I'm making a leaf blade myself." And he's like, "Thank you so much." And he was really thankful. And I showed him my dark saber. And like I said, he said something to me to help inspire me. And then so I walked off, and I realized like the next day I was talking to V, and I said, "You know what? I gave him a saber, but I didn't give him a charger. I didn't tell him how to operate it. I didn't tell him nothing." And in fact, I left it on when I gave it to him. So he walked off with it on. Right. And I just realized that. So like I did leave a few messages a few times on his Facebook. I mean on his YouTube that, "Hey man, I got your charger." And the Esposito was a really great guy. When I got to meet him, I told him I had a saber for him, and I told him this one was made especially for him, this particular dark saber. I've been saving it for a long time, etc. And he was really thankful. If he was acting, then I got to see that really good shit stuff up close. Right. And he was really thankful. He was very humble. He didn't want to take it at first. He's like, "Oh no, this is not for me." I said, "Yeah, it's for you." And I said, "I made it for you." I said, "I took my time for you." Right. And he's like, "Oh, thank you." And he was super humble about it. And he told me, "I have to give you a drawing. I mean, a photo. Please come to my table after the photos are over." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." So I went to his table, and I waited in line. And I went to his table where he was at, and he talked to me briefly about my sabers. And he said, "So you're the one that make these blades?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "I see your work everywhere." You know, I'm like, "Thank you." I said, "I appreciate that." That's what he said, and it really made me get goosebumps when he said that. And then I tried to pay for my picture, and he was like, "No. He doesn't have to pay for his picture because he gave me a gift. I'm giving him a gift." Right. And so we kind of traded off the gift, and I gotta say, he was a really cool dude, and he's been doing this long enough to know how to give you his time,
Right.
and give you enough of his time and enough of his real time, because there are people before me who were in line that he gave his time to,
Right.
and he
Right.
was
Right.
very genuine with his time, and he knew how to like give you his time and then move you along nicely.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
you felt like, you know, oh, I'm imposing. He's like, no, let me show me more. You know, okay, well then now it's time for you to go. You know what I mean? And then he'll move
Right.
you along nice and smoothly. The guy has a lot of class. I wouldn't mind sitting down and chit chatting with him some more.
Wow. And I
Yeah,
think I want to say, I mean, just really quickly, I want to say I think you met Lou Ferrigno as well. Is did
I
you meet
met
him
him a
as well?
long time ago in the Bay Area. I met him
Okay.
at going to cons a few times, but no, Veronica was the one that met him the hardcore way. She met him and she made friends with him. Just to make it short. I mean, like she knows him.
Right. They're
I mean,
homies.
like she even told him he was too. She even told him he was too tall. He was like, you know, what you
Has there
tell him? He
been
said he was too tall. Or
No, that I thought that I thought he was gonna be mean. Like, you know, he's so nice.
yeah, she thinks he's gonna be meaner or whatever.
I thought he was gonna be shorter.
Yeah,
I said I thought he was shorter.
because
has
well,
there
you know,
been besides any of
he is kind of knee high to a duck though. So.
Has there been anyone besides the people that we've talked about? Has there been anybody that you've met that has kind of like stood out to you for some reason, a celebrity, or even maybe just a fan that was that you just was just a really memorable meeting for you?
I say the biggest one was I would say the little boy that came to meet me in Sacramento.
Right.
That one got me really good. And a friend of mine actually, they call him JB Saber Slinger, James Michael. JB Saber Slinger. He has a saber company he does called Light Saber Club, and he does lightsaber therapy, like mental therapy. And he bought a lightsaber for me and a blade for me years and years and years ago, like umpteen years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the first person that kind of like drove a good ways. Him and his family drove a good ways to pick up a blade so they can meet me. And I was severely taken back by it.
Right.
And so that was a big moment. So those two moments I think were my biggest. And then meeting Bogart on my way to meet Adam Savage, and things he said to me really inspired me to keep doing what I'm doing.
Right. Fantastic. So this last year with COVID, I know that you guys have been working hard. You've been getting those blades out and everything. But now that things have kind of opened up, are you guys getting out and about more often? Are people getting a chance to see you guys more? Are you still hiding away in the workshop?
We're kind of hiding away. We're showing up in, like, you know, like here where we live at right now. It's not as convenient as it used to be, as far as like me and me working in the same space. As far as her office is in the same space as my shop.
Right.
Her office is a separate space than my shop, so we do a lot of more back and forth commuting. So we don't really get to do too much as we used to. We're
Right.
more busier because of the commute.
Mm.
We use two different mail spots now rather than the one. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I take the mail to drop off. You know, sometimes about where I'm doing the shop, and then sometimes we're closer to where she does the shipping, and we might be
Processing.
closer for that one. So it's kind of like we're busy only because of we're not used to it. Does that make sense?
Right.
We
Trying to
used
figure out the
being
new
like,
workflow and
yeah, like sometimes she'll say, "Hey, you know, this blade here, Rip, it has this on it. Can you fix it real quick?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I'll just take it and I'll go fix it, and she'll like, "Cool, take it," and she'll like give it a little spit shine, like, "Yeah," and then she'll put it in a box and she'll get ready for shipping.
Right.
Now she'll say, "Hey, I need this to be take a look at. You need to fix this, or whatever." I'm like, "Okay, put it in a box. I'll take it in the morning."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so when I leave in the morning, I go fix it, and then when I get back for that night, I'll give it to her, and it goes out the next day, rather than me fixing it on that spot. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that makes it seem a little bit different. But like all we do now is we kind of like we've gotten used to it. We kind of plan ahead for that kind of thing now. So before it was like we got used to on the spot stuff, but now we know that we might have to plan ahead for a certain thing. So now that's what we do.
Right.
They
So
went
are
and
you?
got my personal blade too, by the way. She went and got my
Oh, there it
tube
is.
one. So this is one I have. It's like I keep it kind of dark at the bottom.
Yeah.
It goes into like a natural red, and then it fades in from red into reverse.
Ooh, I love it. Oh, I like that
So
reverse. And what a
so that's
lot of
how
people don't know. Oh, this is absolutely gorgeous.
it's really washed out. You can see it, but yeah, you see the.
Yeah.
So that's what I have here.
And what a lot of people don't know, because I know a lot of people know you for your beautiful flat acrylic blades, but a lot of people don't know that you can actually spar with a lot of your blades as well. Those are some of our most popular blades at Kyber Cave, was the ones that you could actually fight with.
Yeah. We used to sponsor TSL and sell a lot of TSL blades, and we used to sell blades that had just straight flat tips. That were like safer for for fighting.
Right.
A lot of people thought that the tube, the safer they think it's the round ones, but if you think about it, the round one has a smaller surface on the top, where it's still more puncture, when it's flat.
Right.
But but the reflection and everything, well, it's flatter, so it's less reflection rather than the point of a sphere.
Right.
So, we made lots of for the fighting stuff. So we have a lot of fighting stuff that we have thick-walled Neopixels we've done. We have 7/8 inch thick-walled we used to sell. I remember there was a time where 7/8 inch was really popular. We used to sell a lot of 7/8 inch and thick-walled for fighting. So I'm not sure where those are going. I think they were going to France. I'm not sure.
Interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if you would be able to give an interesting perspective on like the direction, because we often at Kyber Cave, we argue back and forth on what's the best fighting blade. You know what I mean? Like the 1 inches are a little bit too heavy, especially for a newer person. They're more prone to finger damage and right. But then when you're dealing with the 7/8, when you're dealing with those light speed blades, man, those things whip like nothing else, man.
They use 3/4 inch blades.
Oh, 3/4 inch. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a preference on a blade when you're fighting?
I personally, if I was to use one, I would use a thick-walled 7/8 inch blade.
Thick-walled 7/8 inch.
Yep, and probably about maybe for me, depending on the balance of the blade for my hilt, is how I would judge it. But a hilt that would provide balance at a certain length. That's how I do my length, based off the balance of the hilt. But the 7/8 inch thick-walled clear, I would say, because it's the same thickness as a 1 inch for one. Right. They're both 1/8 inch, about an 1/8 inch thick. It's smaller in diameter, so it's a stronger stop.
Right.
It's lighter because it's not as much material as you would get with a 1 inch, and so it'll be faster. So it's a faster, lighter, stronger blade than a 1 inch thick wall would be.
Wow.
So if you wanted to be fast and really strong, that's the best blade, I think, for you. There's a lot of misconception that you have a smaller blade, it'll be not as strong, but actually it'll be, as far as density, it'll be a lot stronger.
Wow.
But the thick walls are too heavy. My personal thing. I think everybody should be going to thick walled 7/8 inch. It looks visually better, and I think that people can spar faster. They worry about it bending and everything. The thick walls they have now bend. They place the hardness so vigorously, they still bend.
Right.
Just have shorter blades. You'll have to have closer contact. If you don't want it to bend so much, bring in the length of your blade. Your blade is too long, then if you don't want it to bend. That's why I personally like shorter blades. It has less bend, and I can control my blade a lot better.
Right.
I don't have to worry about the recoil or the flex of my blade when I'm attacked. My blade is short enough to it can start and stop. It can start and stop where I want it to.
Right. Where do you see the future of sabers in general? I mean, I'm wondering if you get a unique perspective because you provide blades, but Do you see it growing more in the cosplay side? Do you see it growing more in the sports side? It seems like everybody being trapped this year. I'm seeing a lot more flow artists because people were home alone and they couldn't go fight with their buddy.
Yeah.
So they picked up a saber and just started doing tricks and stuff.
Yeah.
Where do you see for the future of sabering? Is it all kind of growing, or is one area growing more than another?
I think it's all kind of growing. I think some might be growing faster because of the whole, like you said, COVID. The whole flow thing is doing a lot more than it used to. TikTok has got a lot more people flowing. Everybody wants to do the Obiani. I think I'm going to try to do a video about teaching people how to do the Obiani.
Right.
I think that's a good way, but I think that once more people are getting out, some states are not as strict as others. So I think a lot more full contact is going to be coming back. I think there's going to be some cautious stuff going on. But I think a lot of people are going to be coming up with stuff. There's a lot of new people. To tons and tons of new people out right now. I mean, it's like this, compared to when I first started doing this, new people come daily. YouTube provides new people. TikTok provides new people. People are scrolling now and they just see something like, oh, wow.
Right.
So people are getting really interested in lightsabers. And
I really think with the advent of Disney Plus, and Disney buying Star Wars, I think that only accelerated everything that we're doing.
Yeah, it brings people into the community. And the only thing is, what I call certain things the Beyonce effect with certain things is you get sabers nowadays a lot faster and a lot cheaper, and it has a lot more features than it did in my day.
Right.
So people aren't willing to wait. They used to wait for certain things, and they're not willing to pay the certain things they want to pay for certain things that they used to.
Right.
So with that comes a certain cost of I think almost style and class. Like a lot of the etch stuff you see out there, and a lot of the stuff that I think are they're not the OGs, but the mid OGs. Because the etching is still new to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, those guys don't reflect the people who are buying the newer LGT stuff or the stuff they get from Pack Store or stuff they get Pack Store. The Pack Store and all that stuff. They kind of open the door for a new breed of people that can get a different quality of saber faster.
Right.
And so you have your LGT guys. You have what they call the resellers and everything. But at the same time, you're getting stuff that we can only dream about. Like I used to dream about having a sound saber. I had to make my own sabers. If I wanted a saber with sound, I had to make it myself. I couldn't really afford to buy a Vader's Vault or send myself out to somebody to have sound put into it. And this is before chassis. And then chassis came in and just made it a lot more complicated.
Right.
So the way things are now, people get a full package. They get a chassis. They get full color spectrum. They get Neopixel. They get all this stuff for under $500. Or under $1,000.
Right.
So it's like now more people can have sabers.
Right.
So sabers gonna be everywhere. I think sabers gonna wind up becoming a sport eventually. I don't know how soon or when, but
keep pushing for the Olympics.
Spinning is getting respect. Saber contact is getting more respect. People I see who talked down on sabers before nowadays think they're really cool. So
right. Everyone's got to have one. Yeah. Well, Gary, we're getting ready to close up here. My director says his computer is about to die here in about 5 minutes.
He's doing this.
So I wanted to ask you, we're going to put your contact information up on the screen, but really quickly as we're going out, anything you want people to know about or what they should be looking for from Ripper Blades for this year?
No.
Well, okay then. It was good talking to you.
Well, look out for the there will be more ready to ship stuff that I've made that's gonna be ready to ship. Like this is a ready to ship kind of blade.
Right.
What I told you about having things ready for like the clones is gonna be the main thing. Dark Sabers, Dark Saber blades that we will be having, they're available. Once the run is all done and everything, and we have just Dark Sabers sold, our Dark Sabers are going to be of the clone kind of our what we have set up for. Not only that, they're going to have white LEDs, just white Neopixel LEDs. They have different shades of white. I've seen how it is. You still get flame, but all that stuff, but it's all white. So it's the soft whites, the blue whites. It's just 3 different dyes of white.
Right. To give you that pure white.
Pure white. So you won't have to adjust your Saber to operate these Neopixels. But I'm just gonna bite that bullet. And then if you want to, when you're ordering yours, you can request a standard LED. But what I'm trying to do is I want to have it be just all white dyes, just because it's a Dark Saber, helps it look more canon, it looks better for people's camera, and just because OCD.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, I'm excited to see those. I'm excited to see you guys out and about this year too, and check out the new Ripper Blade products.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We're gonna try. We're gonna do our best to give you the best.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Make sure you are checking out ripperblades.net.
Ripperblades.net. There's ripperbladesdarksaber.com. There's ripperclones.com. And there's also Ripper Blades on, we have a Instagram, we have a Facebook, we have a TikTok, and we have a YouTube. But ignore the YouTube because we're not doing much on it. And the TikTok hasn't had much life. And our Instagram, sometimes we do stuff on there. But Facebook, I got you, baby.
Yeah. All day long, find Gary Ripper and V Ripper on Facebook. Gary, thank you so much. I appreciate you running back to the house really quick to make this interview. We love you guys always. Tell V I will be catching up with her soon.
Right on. We sure will. I sure will. She probably can hear you.
Yeah. We love you, V. I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay. She said okay.
All right, Gary. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.
All right, man. You be cool, man. Much love, y'all.
You take it easy.
All right.
Peace.
That was all the way across when I downloaded it.
And that is why you buy a Ripper Blade.
Yes. I know you guys saw the Nebula blade earlier, and now you just saw that one.
I personally want his mirrored blades are my favorite, dude. Like, I want one so bad.
Yes. Really quickly, I just want to hear the name of that saber. Gary, can you tell us what that name is?
The one you just seen?
Yeah.
That one, I had no name. That was a custom one I did. It was a Spearhead Neopixel, that's all.
That's awesome.
That's a gorgeous one.
You're doing the Spearhead with the skulls that I did on both sides.
Yeah, with the
eyes. It was a custom that I had done. Sometimes I just want to get creative and I make something, and then I'm like, look, babe. She's like, oh my God. Okay. We'll on the ready to ship.
I think Ezra's going to want one.
Probably. I want one, but I'm probably not going to get one. All right.
We are going to do Neopixel little spears.
Yeah, more Neopixel spearheads will be coming along soon.
Ooh. Yeah. Those are perfect for bounding in Disneyland, too, when you don't want to take a whole blade with you, but you still want to be able to show off your cool saber and its effects. Yeah. That's actually a really good idea.
Real quick, though, a question to answer in case people might ask, like, Ripper Blades don't fit any of the Black Series or anything like that. And you can't fit any Ripper Blades or any really Saber community kind of stuff unless you have a converted Black Series. And the current Dark Saber Black Series does not have a conversion kit for Ripper Blades or any other blade. And the Savvy's Workshop Sabers cannot be converted for battle.
Oh, wow. That is
Unless
good to
there's
know.
a conversion kit out there I don't know about, as far as I
I've
understand,
seen
there's no
converted
conversion kit made for that.
Right.
There's
right.
not a kit made for it, but people have converted them. I've
Oh,
seen
they
that.
have. Yeah, I'm sure they can make them into 7/8 inches, but you still probably can't battle it because I know the main body is plastic. So
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my computer's gonna die in like 2 minutes. So,
Oh.
bye, Gary.
All right, thank you, Gary. Okay, well, why don't you just take us out with the TikToks and so your computer doesn't die out.
Yes. All right. We'll see everyone later.
We hate to be so abrupt, but the computer's dying. Next
I'm
time, bring your
sorry.
cord, homie.
I thought I did. I really thought I did.
All right, get these TikToks so the computer.
What were the extremely powerful invisible lightsabers? Lightsabers usually burn with intensely hot and bright plasma, making them extremely easy to detect. However, there were two extremely powerful lightsaber crystals which actually produced a clear blade. The first is more well known, but arguably less powerful. The Ghostfire crystal was extraordinarily rare and produced a translucent blade. The lightsaber also made no sound and produced illusory after effects of the blade, making it almost impossible for an opponent to defend against it. Sparrow ingots were another kind of lightsaber crystal that produced a clear blade. However, these lightsaber crystals were infused with a heavy dose of radiation. Therefore, the blade burned more like fire than plasma, causing any opponent struck by it to instantly burst into flames.